Alright, here we are once again, another Wednesday night. 6 o'clock p.m. Central Standard Time. So let's go ahead and get it going. Alright. So how's everybody doing? We've had a very productive week. I have been quite busy, hustling it out there, uh, helping out a neighbor that lives across the street. And what he needed was some yard work. Now, this neighbor across the street is a Korea War veteran himself. So, it's an honor and a privilege to stay busy and stay active. Obviously I was able to keep my distance. He wanted to come out and help out, but I was like, hey, you know, if you want to get out and do something, go take a walk, take a lap, hit the showers, and yeah. So here we are. We got Jonathan Thomas. Good evening. So, as promised, we have ourselves a Pass Lake streamer, a Pass Lake special variation thereof. Now, one of the things I'm looking forward to once I hit 1,000 subscribers is the ability to use my phone for my camera. And actually, I just kind of need to look into that. I'll do that before next week because the lighting on this webcam is just so sensitive. And, it's either overexposed or underexposed. I've been trying. I've been really trying pretty hard to keep things consistent and such. So, anyways, here we are, Pass Lake streamer. So a little bit history. I took a screenshot from someplace. This is from the wiflyfisher.com, Wisconsin fly fishing website. Anyways, a little history about the Pass Lake fly pattern. It was created in the mid-1930s by Reverend E. Strumbenvoll. Anyways, it was a popular, I don't know, that's how flies get their name sometimes. This is named after the body of water where this was originally fished. So, hello, Ken. Good morning. Early morning. So, anyways, let's go ahead and get one started. We need to turn the volume down just a little bit on my headset, I keep hearing myself in a psychedelic loop, and I don't need to do that. All right, we'll go over everything as we tie this along. I'll set that one off to the side. Anyways, for our hook, we are using a Mustad 3366 size 8. It's what we have here on hand, and I know some of the participants in the local Project Healing Waters program might have some of these hooks on stash. Another good hook, what you're looking for, these will be a little bit shorter than normal. I guess that's why this is a variation. But you want something with a little bit longer shank on this. I suppose you could go with something that has maybe a 2x in length. But size 8, it's about as big as you want to tie these, I suppose. They were intended originally for trout. And we're going to tie one up like this, and then I'll probably try to zoom in a little bit on the camera angle. So this is our wide angle approach, if you will. For our thread, I have a 70 denier flat wax thread, and let's go ahead and start this. I'm gonna start this about an eye's length behind the eye, and that's going to give myself, it's really hard for you guys to see, but I can see it, is it leaves myself a little visual indicator, a point of no return, if you will. All right. So that's going to just, I don't know, keep me from crowding the eye. All right. So a popular recipe. This will call for a mallard flank. So we'll start one off from scratch here so we can see what we got working with. All right, first things first, I want to just go ahead and get rid of all this downy. Get rid of all that downy junk. Strip that off. Hold tight on it. All right, so let's go ahead and pick a side. We'll go up this first batch. That looks about right. Maybe a little bit less. But we want to fold these fibers out perpendicular to the shank so the tips are all lined up. Nice pinch and a quick pull. All right. I like to have these kind of curly cued up and kind of flared out if possible. So let's go ahead and measure this out. At 1 hook's length. We'll set that on the back end. And we'll tie it in up front. And holding onto that feather, we're going to keep it on the top side of the hook. Watch that tip of that hook. Tip of that barb right there. Alright. Go underneath, do one wrap down into that bend a little bit. Then we'll work our thread forward, just kind of keep that body nice and even. I like it. Nice clean cut. And we'll take our thread back to the bend. We can do that in an open spiral. Alright, up next, we're going to take some chenille. Now, if you go smaller than a size 8, you're going to want to scale your chenille down. This is I don't know, it's a pretty decent medium size chenille. And typical color is black. So, like always, we're just going to strip a little bit of that fuzz off. Here we go. Beautiful. About a 1/8 inch birthday candle's worth. Spin my thread counterclockwise, anti-clockwise, whichever way wise you want to do it. And then I'm going to pull on my little tab of chenille thread, pull that forward, and that jams. That's going to jam my thread, the chenille into that thread. We'll just wrap forward. Alright, remember we're keeping our area for our head nice and clear. Good evening, Jessica Husingfeld. How are you? How was dinner? What's everybody having for dinner tonight? What's for breakfast? What's for lunch? I think maybe tomorrow it might be a breakfast for supper. We sure got a lot of eggs to cook, so we might make some omelets. Or I'll just get fancy tomorrow. Alright. We'll hold our chenille up and to the right. And we'll start securing that down. Too easy. Now you can see already, if we had a longer shanked hook, we could get a little bit longer of a body on there. But as long as we keep everything proportionate to itself, we'll be just fine. Alright, looks like we got people popping in. We got 7, 8 people. Hey everybody, what's going on? We are tying ourselves a Pass Lake streamer, Pass Lake special, Pass Lake fly, whatever you want to call it. We're tying it. Up next, got ourselves a little hackle. You know what's coming up next. So I'm going to come, and this is not super tiny. You see where the little neck feathers would have been. But I don't like my hackle too big, so we'll just go right there. Yeah, that's going to be just fine, fine, fine. Alright, where's our scissors? Go ahead and just trim off the downs. Bye-bye. And we'll do our high and tight. Really hard to see. I see that just overexposes it. I don't know if I like this camera set up 100%. But anyways, we do our little notch right there at the bottom of our hackle. And that'll give us something to bite onto. Alright, we'll take one soft wrap to capture it. We'll wrap back on there a little bit. Still got some more material to go. Beautiful. Alright, let's go ahead and we're 11 minutes into our live stream, ladies and gentlemen. You know what time it is. That's right, ladies and gentlemen, it's hackle time. Synchronize your watches. Find the children, call them inside, get their attention. It's hackle time. So it's a relatively short hackle feather, so I'm going to use my hackle pliers. As we wrap, we're going to just do a few turns, keeping all of our fibers facing towards the rear, wrapping towards our thread a little bit. Alright, I think that looks good. We'll go ahead and secure that with a couple of locking wraps. And we'll go ahead and give this a trim. Alright, so we have hackle up on top, and we have hackle on the sides, and we have hackle on the bottom. We want it all to be more or less facing towards the bottom. So we'll take a second, and we're going to coax them down, and we're going to fold them back. Now I'm going to wrap and catch just the bottoms, that bottom bit, and kind of wrap at an angle. And there we go. That's our throat. That's our little hackle beard, if you will. So that's just more or less tickling the bottom. We do have a little bit going off to the sides, but that's, in my opinion, no big deal, huh? We got James. I don't know if I said hi to James yet. James, good evening. Thanks for tuning in. This is the Pass Lake Streamer, Pass Lake Special. So who all do we have in? Let's do some shout outs. Let's do, let me know, say a hi. Say hi by letting me know what the last fly that you tied was. What was the last fly? It doesn't matter if you tied it a week ago, 2 weeks ago, a month ago, don't matter. Alright, here we go. Here is our wing. For our wing on this fly, that's a sole. It's a little calf tail. That's right. Take a sip of coffee. It's time for a sip of coffee. What's nice is I have this little button here, and I can press my little button and you don't have to hear me slurp the Java. Perfect night for a cup of coffee. We got my yard. I took care of my yard, and I did my neighbors across the street. So let's go ahead and, I don't know, this calf tail was a little bit longer at some point. Had a tip. That sucker's broken. It's gone now. It was gone, just gone. But we're gonna grab ourselves a little bit of a, I don't know, that proverbial pencil's worth. There we go. Ba-ba-da-ba. All right, let's go ahead and grab the tips. Look at that. That's rejected. All that under fur. If you got your brush, quick brush. And, you know, if I was the good reverend, would I be stacking that up? I don't know. We're going to go ahead and throw this in the little hair stacker. So, Jonathan Thomas was a pheasant tail swim coach by Charlie Craven. All right. Sounds like a fun pattern. I might have to look that up. Last thing Jessica tied was a beadhead mop fly. That's outstanding. We like the mops. Mop is not a bad word in our house. I'll tell you that for free. You know why? Because they work. I like flies that work. And they're fun to tie. Imagination is your only limitation. Alright, so let's check out this wing. Proportion-wise, you know what? A good rule of thumb is take that wing about to that halfway point of that tail. I like that. So, let's go ahead and switch hands. And we're going to go ahead and just zoink. I'm going to give that a quick trim. A little bit of an angle. And calf tail, heads up, ladies and gentlemen, it can be a little slippery. So sometimes, if you want, just to give yourself a little dab, this isn't going to be our top coat or anything, but this, just a little dab in there. It's not quite zap-a-gap, but it's not nothing. Tell you that. All right, we'll go ahead and build up our head. Watch that ledge, and there we go. Maybe one more pass. It's a 70 denier thread, so it's a little bit smaller than what some of us may be used to. But there we go. All right, here we go. Quick finish. 1, 2, 3. Oh, that broke. Yeah, it's sturdy. It's sturdy. All right, little insurance policy on this. You know, with these flies, I really enjoy a nice purdy head. And for that, I'm going to use some solarez bone dry. Let's get one little drop. One little drop. That was one big drop. We'll survive. Alright. Ooh, I gotta show you guys. We'll do a little show and tell here in a second. Because I didn't invent it, but I sure enough made it. Tell you that for free. Let's see, who else do we got in here? We got Josh Anderson. Good evening. So the question we're doing for our little Wednesday shout out is, what's the last fly that you tied? Does it have a name? Is it something you created? I don't know. Let's hear about it. So far we got mop flies. We've got a pheasant tail swim coach, which I'm not 100% familiar with. Charlie Craven. See, I don't have any Charlie Craven books. Not that I know of. No. How do you organize your books? I don't even know. So that is a past lake streamer, kind of zoomed out. That's a classic pattern. Coming up, it's 90 years old coming up. So, all right, we're going to do a little quick show and tell before we go too far. Let's go ahead and move the camera out. so let's go ahead and swing this out. So what had happened is I got myself a little jar, and in my little jar I stuffed it with what do you call it? Steel wool, and the concept is if you, I ended up doing a different one. It's got 3 holes, and the concept is you can use it as a bobbin holder, or not a bobbin holder, but a holder for your bodkins. And when you pull it in and out, the hole, I mean, obviously it allows it in, but the steel wool helps keep your tips clean. It's not 100%, and if your bodkin is just absolutely soaked with Zap-A-Gap or any kind of CA glue, and you jam it in there, you go like that, you go to pull it out, it's going to be stuck. So, yeah. Dirty Hippie, look at that. Josh Anderson, the Prince Nymph, he was tying last night and he started making a dirty hippie with some coyote, so it's an ugly hippie. Hey, that's alright. But yeah, go ahead, find yourself a little jar, poke some holes in it, and use it for a bodkin holder. I used to have one that was a little bit smaller. I took the old, what do you call it, steel wool out. And, you know, I was thinking these glass jars are just going to be a little bit heavier. So I did not, again, I did not invent this. Somebody actually sent me or gave me this one, and it's serviced me well for so many years. I'm going to restuff it. I'm going to pass it on to somebody. So Project Healing Water, St. Cloud folks, stand by, because when we meet again, one of you guys just might get this one. You never know. And possibly my other one. But I really like this. Having 3 holes in there, holding 3 different bodkins. Good stuff. Good stuff. All right, let's go ahead and get this set back up for another fly. What do you say? Ellen, good evening. Thanks for joining. All right, let's go ahead and push that in, and I'm gonna try to zoom in just a little bit more, and let's see if we can. I just can't get it to focus. Not 100%, so I don't know. What do you guys say? What's better? That's not too out of sorts, is it? I don't know. We'll get back. We'll get back. No, I swear it just looked like it tried to autofocus on me. I don't know. What do you think? Tie another one? Sure thing. Let's do it. And again, it could just be in focus and I not know it. How bad is the focus, ladies and gentlemen? Let's see. I can see. I can read it just fine, but capturing that fine detail. I'm looking for a donation. If anybody wants to donate a camera setup, something pro grade, I'll appreciate it. I'll use it. I'll continue to provide awesome content. I watched this guitarist Dovey Das live streaming. I'm sure he's live streaming right now. we'll start our thread. We're going to start it a little bit back. We're going to start that eye's length behind the eye. Eye. And that's just going to leave us a little visual indicator. Not bad. See, with it's just the bare hook. I don't know if you're looking at this on a smartphone, then it might not matter. If you watch fly tying videos like I do on my 42-inch flat screen TV, yeah. All right, let's go ahead and look at this. We already have our mallard, our flank, prepped and ready to go. Let's go ahead and just take ourselves another small little section. We'll probably get another third fly out of this at least. Alright, strip that off. And let's go ahead and measure this out. We want to go about a hook's length. One hook's length hanging out back there. And we'll tie this in up here. Once that's tied in, we'll continue our thread wraps. We're going to go right there to the tip of the hook and the tip of the barb on this one. Now, if you're an awesome feller, you'll want to squish or mash that barb, or just find yourself a barbless hook to tie this on. But it's a relatively kind of oversized streamer. You want to calls for a sprout hook, and that's what this is. All right, where did our chenille go? Pick an end at the end. All right, we'll strip about an 1/8 inch or so. There we go. About a birthday candle's wick. That's what I always shoot for. Set that on the back end. Spin my bobbin counterclockwise. Help keep that thread kind of thinking over to that way. Alright, just to get my chenille packed in just a little bit tighter, I'm just going to pull that thread just a little bit. Just a little bit. Don't have to go bananas on it. We're not silverback gorillas. You know, I'm not worried about that because when we come through palmering this forward, guess where that's likely going to go? The inside. Alright, touching wraps. What do you know? Right up to our thread, up and to the right. Go ahead and just tack that down with some locking wraps. Nice and tight. I gotta remember I'm using a finer thread on this. This isn't a 210, which is 4 times. Excellent. To the side. Alright, what is our next step? Where are we at? Hey, let's grab some hackle. Oh boy, oh boy. Recipe calls for a brown hen hackle. Yeah, it's hennish. It's a hennish. We're gonna after this one, we're gonna start diving off the deep end and splitting off and doing some really kind of not off the wall variations, but some pretty common variations of this pattern. We're gonna add a different tail. Still keep the black chenille, but we're also going to perhaps add some ribbing, which will be pretty fun. Alright, we'll do our high and tight, little notch on either side. Excellent. All right, let's go ahead and tie this in, front side forward. All right, let's go ahead and take some locking wraps. We'll push this towards the rear of the hook just a little bit. Remember, we got to build our head up front. The method to the madness is let's not over wrap our thread. Let's be methodical about it as always. So let's go ahead and synchronize watches. Let's check it out. 1830. Nope, that's not what time it is. That's what time it was. I'm looking at the wrong monitor. My bad. Alright, 1831. It's hackle time, baby. It's hackle time. Alright. Let's go ahead. Oh, this is nice. We'll keep the front facing forward. Or the top bit facing forward. And as I'm wrapping, I'm coaxing these fibers back. Let's go 1, 2, 3, and you know what I always say, sparse is nurse, right? Let's go ahead. So at this point, my thread is actually directly behind the eye of the hook. So I left about an eye's length, and I wrapped that and filled that all up with the hackle. I'm right behind the eye of the hook. Now, let's trim that off. Now remember, I want this to be a beard. Anybody know that VeggieTales song about somebody having a beard, or Aunt Gertrude, or she had a beard and it looked weird or something? I don't know. Alright, so I'm pulling my hackle down and back. And my thread, I'm going to wrap at an angle this way and work my way back. Dale Sanders, good evening. Thanks for tuning in. How are we? I like that. One hackle barb hanging out. There we go. So again, this one I think proportion-wise with our, at least with our hackle feather, I like this because it just tickles into that tip of that hook. Just tickles into that tip of that hook. I like it. All right. Moving on. Who remembers what we're using for our wing? Any guesses? Who's paying attention? What step is next? What are we adding next for our wing? Clue. It's white. That's right, ladies and gentlemen. It moved. Calf tail or kip tail. Calf or kip? What do you call it? Calf tail or kip tail? There we go. First in was, who was it? We had Jonathan. Thanks. Yes. Give that man a gold star. Better than extra duty, huh? All right. Let's go ahead and grab about a wing's worth. Not quite a pencil's worth, that would be too big, but knowing that, we are going to lose a little bit as we clean. Sometimes you have to oversize the amount you initially take, because I mean, man, that'd be huge. We're going to strip this down a little bit. Go ahead and clean that out. Get rid of that fuzz. If you're a hoarder, saver, early beginner fly tyer, save all these little, save all that. That's good dubbing, my friend. You can easily make something with that. Now, if you have a bucket of dubbing and 30,000 containers of it, then I don't know. Do whatever you need to do with it. Steve Trybowski, good evening. You know, it's funny because the Past Lake Streamer video I watched this earlier today, you had watched and left a comment in. And as we're about the same, it's not a new video. I am tying this just a little bit differently. I'm going to throw my hair into the stacker here because I found that with calf tail, hip tail, whatever you want to call it, it doesn't stack that well. And running it through the hair stacker is not going to hurt it. Alright, let's measure that out. Just take a couple of these shorties. Let those fall out. Excellent. Alright. About half the length of that tail, just a skosh past the barb, or the bend. So, about like so. Give us a nice little slightly tapered angled cut. Rotate thy thread anti-clockwise. Here we go. And it slipped. And we have an epic failure. Let's go ahead and try that again. We're going to try it this way. Trim off her hair. Clean that out. Quick clean, quick clean. You double stack using two different stackers. I actually have an idea for a hair stacker. I don't want to talk about it because I hope to make $1 million off it someday. How sweet will that be? I'm not even going to stack that. We're just going to send it. Let's go that half a... I just want to take a little bit off. Just a couple of little shorties. Yeah, that's what I like. We're going to just tie it. We're going to take a couple of loose wraps. Keep it on top. I said. I don't like tying it on this way, but it's what it came down to. Bump and bump. Let's go ahead and just make sure that stays behind the eye, and it slipped. Dang, this calf tail is just killing me this time. Alright, one more time. Maybe I need a sip of coffee. Let's take a sip of coffee. Alright. One more time for the peoples. Nobody ever said fly tying was easy, folks. If it was easy, everybody would be doing it. But that's why we practice. Let's clean that out. Wax the thank you. That's what I needed. That was my missing step. Thank you, Steve. Ah, gourd. Yes, yes, yes. We'll even do it in 3D. Whoa. Yeah, this this is a Flymasters Plus too, so it's the thread's already waxed. So, go figure. There we go. There's the bite I was looking for. Oh, that one was kind of painful. Kind of a extremely sparse wing, but you know, they're not all going to be perfect. And that's all right. This is live, unedited. That's how it happens, folks. This is on a real bench. Mistakes are made. Flies will fail. But in the end, I'm having a great time, and I'm glad each and every one of you are here with me. So yeah, you know, it was persistence. I mean, you know, there's always take the razor blade to it, say goodnight. But all right, so that was another one. Let's go ahead and see about doing our variation, and this is, I don't know, we're gonna call it the, I don't know, what would be a fancy name, a fancier name for a variation of a past lake streamer. So as we tie this, as we move along, let's think of a fancy variation name that we can tack onto this. Because to me, what we tied was more or less minus the hook. I think if we had a little bit longer shank hook, I think we would be a little bit closer to what a past lake streamer is. And with these, you want to tie them size 8 this is the biggest. These are the big boys. These are the big past lake streamers. Now you can just go bananas and tie it maybe on a size 2 or 10 or 12 or, you know, anything bigger. Whatever you want to do, that's fine. Alright, but once again, we're going to use that same hook. Let's do that same 3366, and these are size 8s. Size 8s again. Size 8 is the largest size that's recommended. A serving suggestion, if you will, and you know, they say a serving of chips is that's that's, you can't have just one. Alright, let's start our thread that same spot at eye's length behind the eye. Eye. Let's go ahead and trim that thread off. Alright, so this is where we're gonna go off the path a little bit. Let's find ourselves a little bit of a golden crest. We're gonna get a little crest feather, a little neck feather, and this is us right there. Now, how's that for a pretty feather, huh? Ooh la la, that's pretty. I like it. Alright, so just like before, let's go ahead and just get rid of that bottom junk out of the way. Alright. So with these, if we just take it and spin it sideways, we lose our angle. So what we want to do is we want to gauge how much we want to get. sharp scissors. Nice little clean cut. Slide that out. There we have it. All right, so we have our black tips and we have that black bar. And I'm going to line up my black bar just beyond the bend of the hook. Tie that in. Working our way back. Don't go down into that bend. You're going to end up getting a little sad little tail. Couple, well, we'll add another one down there. Another thread wrap underneath. Pulling forward on that, cinching it up. It just kind of helps keeping everything from cascading down. We'll bind that all the way forward. This helps us maintain our evenish body, even though it's slightly oversized. Chenille for, I don't know, it's a size 8, it's a medium chenille. If you go smaller, you're definitely going to want to go with a smaller chenille. Before we tie in our chenille, where did I set it? I got to do my bench side hunt and find where I put my, there it is. Didn't go too far. Here we go. Some medium oval French tinsel. Ooh la la. Pull this out a little bit. And I'm going to tie this in full length. Tie it in right up front. We're going to keep it on the near side of the hook. This is what I like to do. Keeping that behind my eye's length, behind the eye. We're going to wrap this in all the way to our tail. Bazinga. All right. Now we're back there. Let's go ahead and grab our chenille. Here we go, ladies and gentlemen. Pop quiz, pop quiz. Question is, what is chenille? What does chenille mean? Where does it come from? Go ahead and type in your answers in the comments or in the chat. All right. Pick an end, any end, especially this one. Go ahead and strip that buzz off. About an 1/8 inch. That's probably more like a 1/4, but I'm not measuring. Set that down. Nope, gotta do our spin. Spin your thread counterclockwise, anti-clockwise. And look at that. Contact. Another wrap. So that's two loose wraps. There's my little tag in there. I'm going to give that a little pull forward towards the eye. And you can see that. I don't know if you can see it, but I can see it. It just kind of tightens up. Just grab those little threads, pull those forward, and that gets that right close, tight, and where we need it. A little bit longer than I want. Sometimes you can tell if you can get away with. You can get away with a little tag and a thread that would possibly it just gets bound in. Hey Frank, good evening. Thanks for tuning in. So no takers on what the word chenille means. Well, to my understanding, it means caterpillar. Let's go ahead and palmer this forward. Nice close touching wraps, and sometimes you can even get away with brushing a little bit of chenille back so you got a nice clean spot to lay your next wrap. I'm keeping these wraps nice and tight, and that's living a little dangerous. It's just a little too close to the eye for my comfort. I don't want to crowd the eye. What can I say? I don't want to crowd the eye, and neither should you. So let's go ahead and trim that off. Bazinga. All right. So now we have our oh yeah, to finish off with our French caterpillar, our chenille, we'll wrap our French tinsel forward. Let's go ahead and let's do one wrap underneath that. I like that. One wrap under the tail. And spacing is up to you. So long as it is nice and even, I think that's going to be fantastic. All right, yes, that's nice. That looks like a lot of fun. All right, I'm going to go with my not so super sharp scissors. Because the French tinsel, it does have some metallic fibers in there, and I don't want to use my razors to chomp at that. All right. Do we stick with the same? We'll stick with the same. I think the only variation would be that and the tail. This one. And then we're going to keep making it our own now. So yeah, this is one of the popular variations. Trim off the trash, and we'll give this that high and tight. A little notch on either side of that stem. It doesn't look like much, but it sure does a lot. Top side up, front side forward. A couple loose wraps just to capture it. Oh, and there goes the thread. What happened to the thread? Thread's dead, baby. Let's go ahead and recover from that real quick. I felt it happen too. I can re-spool my thread faster. You can kiss a duck. Just a couple of wraps around the thread, and that'll help keep that bound in there. Perfecto. All right. Check your watches. You know what time it is? Who knows what time it is? It's hackle time. It's hackle time. Yo, it's hackle time. Hackle time. I don't know. Somebody should write a hackle time song. Somebody that knows how to rhyme. Somebody that's got the flow. I don't have it. I'll tell you that for free. All right. Let's go ahead and grab our hackle feather by the hackle tip by our hackle pliers. And let's go ahead and take a couple of wraps. Let's go one. This one's coming out a little bit webbier. I like that one. Let's go two. There's tray. And let's go one more. Why not? That makes 4 for totals. That's the problem. You know, I guess if you're not breaking your thread from time to time, you're not applying enough tension. At least that's what they say. Why does it sound like somebody's like burning rubber in my backyard? I'd be a little upset if that happened. But anyways, here we have it. Alright, let's go ahead and coax our hackle barbs. Go down and pinch, down and pinch. Fold them back, down and back. Wrap back on top of those just a wee little bit. And look at that. Now we got this nice little beard hanging out. I don't know, maybe if where am I at? What if I didn't do that? I just left it all flared out. I don't know. I like the beard. I like it facing back, and I like the length. So if you can't see the tips, which you probably can't, we're right about there. Just in between the tip of the hook and the tip of the barb. That's a nice little proportion standard that I like to see. You know, a badger hackle for the throat. Well, what do you know? We could do that. I think I might have some badger. That's a badger hackle, if I'm correct, would be... Oh, that's what we're looking at for like a Matuka style, right? Is that a badger hackle? I think so. We're going to use our white calf tail on this for now. Yellow calf tail for the wing with the badger hackle. Alright, let's do that on our next one. We're gonna go a little crazy on this next one. So what's everybody up to? What are we doing when we're not on our bench tying flies? One of the things that I have been doing is I've been playing my ukulele, and I've really enjoyed that. It's been nice to get outside, get some fresh air, and just kind of jam out by the fireside with the ukulele playing. Alright, same as before, about halvesy-wavsies. Halfway on that tail, which just a little bit into that line. Let's go ahead and wait. Ha ha ha. Fool me once. A little bit of wax, a little bit of tacky wax. That's gonna be nice. Now I won't trim this off. Keep it behind the eye. Oh, that was nice. Well, tail ended up just a tick longer than I wanted it, but it'll be alright. I'll fish it. Helping the grandson with remote learning. That's awesome, because someday he's going to help you learn how to do the remote. See what I did there? No, that's awesome. I firmly believe, and you know, I don't know. I'll get on my soapbox here and just kind of do my little preaching about togetherness and making this better. Because whether you like the politics or this or that, it's all besides itself. It always comes down to just doing the right thing, whether anybody's watching or not. That's called integrity. Um, so yeah, I just encourage everybody out there, help each other out, do the right thing, even though nobody's watching. If we don't have each other's back, it's no longer every neighbor for himself. Like I said earlier today, I did my neighbor's lawn across the street. He's a Korea War veteran. Proud to help him. Such a goofy guy. Great guy. Um, but no, it's good times. It's helping the idea, the concept of helping somebody and not expecting anything in return. That feels good. Why do I volunteer and do all that jazz? Because it feels good. It's 100% true. I wouldn't do it if it was any other way. I'm a active member of my VFW. I'm an active member of my Elks organization. I'm active, obviously, with Project Healing Waters. So, it's, I don't know. It's good stuff out there. The more you can do for others without expecting anything in return, that's awesome. But then again, on the flip side, I saw one. It had, it was talking about, oh, what, you can't expect me to go to work and not get paid. And then the musician chimes up and says, yeah, but just, think of the exposure you'll get. Hey, we got Dave Coleman in the house. Good evening, sir. Oh, I think that's all right. I think it's all right. I really, really do look forward to the camaraderie and getting back together with my fly tying and fly fishing friends and family, because that's who we all become. We start as friends. We start as strangers, and then we become friends. And I think we all become family at a certain point. I definitely, Dave, don't tell anybody, but you and Claude are like grandpas in my world. Well, not world, but you know what I mean. All right, let's take a dive off the deep end here. But thank you, Dave. I wouldn't be half the fly tyer I am without you. So hats off to our good friend Dave and all that he's always done for Project Healing Waters. So let's go off the deep end here. We'll stick with the black thread. I was thinking about changing colors. We might go red. We might do a red one next. I don't know. How about... Ooh, this is going to be pretty. How about some ring neck rump? Ring neck rump in the color of purple. This is going to be pretty cool. Yeah. Let's just go ahead and strip off this just to kind of get where we need to get going. Let's see what we're dealing with here. I think with this, so a little trick that I've learned is sometimes with these types of feathers, what you can do is if you trim that little center stem off, that'll give us a little bit better of a bunch. I like that. Ooh, I like it. Whoever likes purple is gonna like this one. Let's go about our hook's length about there. Get a nice pinch onto that. Ooh la la. We are tying flies now. We'll go a couple wraps underneath. I like that. Boy, I wish I had some purple. What would go good? I think we'll just we'll stick with our black chenille. That's going to be kind of our constant in there. I was thinking about a ribbing, but I don't want to throw too much at this all at once. We got to make our changes subtle. Alright, let's tie in our chenille. A little tug forward, cinch up on that. I like it. Palmer the chenille forward now. What was the suggestion? Help me out here. What was the suggestion for our collar? I think I have. I think maybe a white. I think maybe a white grizzly, just a plain white grizzly hackle collar. Let's see what happened. Was this piece when I was pulling on it, rubbing on it, I stripped the chenille out. It happens. I'm thinking a white collar, and I know I have some purple. I know I gotta have some purple kip tail somewhere. Yeah, buddy. A girl's gotta have options, right? Boy, it's going to take me an hour to put all this junk away. All right. And what did we think? Do we think like a grizzly? Some sort of grizzly hackle here? I am thinking... I'm thinking just a grizzly hen hackle, because I want to give it just a little bit of contrast. So let's get our grizzly hen hackle out. This one will work. And this is going to be a little bit oversized. Well, not too bad. The longest ones will be right about there. So, you know, and that's the thing. Don't be afraid to just take a second, hold the feather up there, and visualize what we actually got going on. All right, we're gonna do some choices here. We'll go over our options for our wing, and I think I know which one I want to go with, but we'll see what y'all say. Okay, one loose wrap to capture it, and a couple more locking wraps. You know what time it is. You know what time it is. It's hackle time. Say what? It's hackle time. Oh no. Oh no. I'll just stop singing altogether. Sorry. My fault. My fault. Alright. Grab our hackle tip with our hackle pliers. Let's go ahead and just take a couple of wraps. One. Let's do two. And we'll end it at three. I think this will be enough. Because remember, we have twice as much because we have that stuff up front. Alright. Go ahead and release that. And just trim that off. Alright, just like before, we're going to go down. Down with it and towards the rear. Down and a swoop back. Down, 2, 3, 4. Swoop, 2, 3, 4. To the rear. Here we go now. That's that hackle's way too big. I don't like it. I don't want to ruin it with. Alright. I talked myself out of it. I didn't like it. Not enough to keep it. I know. I'm untying a fly. I know you paid for a full seat. You're just going to use the edge of it. Alright, we're going to tie it in reverse. That's what we're going to do. We're going to just strip that off. Give ourselves a little handle here. Alright, so this time we're going to tie it in by the tip. This is going to yield us the little shorter bits of the barb. Let's go right about there. I don't know what I was looking at when I was looking at that earlier, but it looked fine, but it wasn't. Alright. I think I promised about no singing, so what's nice about this now is we have this little handle. Let's go ahead and just take a couple of turns. My fingers are way too slippery right now. So I read one today that because of the excessive hand washing and sanitizing procedures, all of the chemicals are being absorbed into the skin and people are no longer having to clean their toilets. That's too much. There we go. I like that a lot better. It's not a race. I guess it could be a race. It's a marathon. It's not a timed race. It's a slow race. Let's go ahead and pull that beard down. Well, you ain't seen nothing yet. You guys haven't seen the calf tail we're going to use on this one. Got a couple more facing forward. Everybody likes to try to trim that stuff, but if you can, just fold it back. Fold it back, get a wrap on it. Yeah, see that's nice. That's coming out a lot cleaner. I'm really liking the way that's starting to look. Alright, so I got two purple kip tails. One, I think the purple definitely matches the tail a lot better. And this one's coming out a little bit blue. I'm going to go with this kind of a I don't know, grape. I don't know. What are the different colors from purple? Violet, violet, purple. That's a purple. That's a violet. I don't know. But this is the one we're gonna use. So just like before, go ahead and trim off a little section. And prepare to clean. That's right. Clean it out. Just because it's purple doesn't mean it doesn't get cleaned. Hit it with the brush. And for giggles and grins, let's go tips down into the hair stacker. I got my small hair stacker. Maybe I should try my medium. Yeah, I don't think that did much. Alright. Whoop, whoop, whoop. Wax that thread. Got one shaggy one. Yeah, this is nice. This is nice. I like this purple one. Getting some reports to mix them. Well, let's get through this one first. Need to trim that off just a little bit more. Yeah, buddy. I like that. I like that a lot. Oh, and I did it again. I gotta stop banging this thread like it's a 140 or bigger. That's alright. That's the first time that's ever happened while tying this fly. Alright, let's go ahead and clean this up. Just take our time. From the top. There we go. Ooh. Alright, let's throw our whip finish. Throw one more in there. Cool. Alright, so the next one we're going to add a little mix. We're going to mix that Kool-Aid up a little bit. Oh, where's the bone dry? There we go. Let's add a little bit of solarez bone dry. We don't have to grab too much out of it, so a little dab, little dab will do you. A little droplet on the bodkin and contact. There we go. Make sure that cap is back on. Alright, we're going to mix the next one. Don't worry, boys and girls. The next one shall be mixed. What do you guys think of that tail? I like that. I think that's just fantastic. All right, we're gonna take a quick pause for the cause, and I will be right back. Stand by, ladies and gentlemen, stand by. We're gonna just go ahead and switch over to here. Hold on, folks, we'll be right back. Alright, thanks for standing by with me, ladies and gentlemen. I had to take a quick pause for the cause. Alright, but we are back, and we are at 'em. We got a whole another 30 minutes to go. What do you say? Let's go bananas. Let's go bananas. Let's see here. Alright, let's go ahead and get this bad boy going. We're gonna, basically, I like that grizzly hackle down there. So we're gonna keep that. And we're gonna keep that same tail because I liked that. That was pretty. Where'd our hooks go? There we go. Who do we got still tuned in? Who is in it for the long haul? It's interesting, when I do my live streams on Instagram, sometimes people will jump in for about 30 seconds. Just enough for their name to pop up. And next thing you know, they're gone. Poof. I have any purple. I don't have any purple thread. Oh well, we're gonna stick with the same same black thread. Let's try not to break it this time, huh? Let's try not breaking that thread. That wasn't very nice. We still got Steve. We still got Dale. What's up, Steve? What's up, Dale? Actually, I wanted to tie this in up front, right about there. Uh-oh, I hear a kitty cat trying to crawl her way through. Big on, cat. Alright, so for our tail here, again, I'm going to, on this one, on this variation, it is a ring neck rump hackle, purple. Pretty fantastic, if you ask me. Just take one of those. Rest back in the bag. All right, there's our feather. So first things first, we'll strip that off. Big on. Off and on. Power's been going off and on. Oh no, what's going on? You guys, it has been windy today, so look out there. Let's go ahead. Well, the beautiful thing is, Josh, is after this is all said and done with, there's always reruns. There's always the reruns of the video. So let's find that center. And let's trim that off. And that'll help our edges kind of bunch together. Let's line that up. Let's get our hook's length right there on that back end. We'll tie it in up front. Then we'll just work our magic all the way back. How exciting, huh? Beautiful, right there. Maybe one more wrap back. And we'll do a couple of wraps underneath. Pull forward. Underneath and pull forward. I know that's all roostered out, but watch this. We'll tame that down. I like that tail. That's awfully nice. Bazinga. You know, I really wasn't too much of a fan of the French tinsel, but I might be persuaded into a little bit of gold wire. Let's find our gold wire. Oh, way over there. Alright, and this is our fine gold wire 13/100ths. French. A lot of French stuff today. Viva la France. So let's tie that in. Fine little gold wire. This might not come through too bright, too pronounced, but this is going to be one of those things that, you know, it's the caramel nougat flavored on the inside, which gets everybody's attention. That guy's just going to bother me. Good enough. Alright, let's go ahead and get our chenille on. So yeah, learn how to tie yourself a pretty good standard Pass Lake streamer. And then go bananas. Find out what I should tap into the the dark realm of chartreuse. We didn't even do that. Oh, a little bit of chartreuse. Oh, I have some too. I have some chartreuse mallard flank. It's like neon green chartreuse. Nothing else should be any use. But yeah, it's oh yeah, chartreuse. I think that'd be a good one too. I like this purple and chartreuse. What if I found a chartreuse hackle for the oh, there you go, Josh. Josh was asking about a making a whip finishing tool, and check out the Handmade Fisherman on YouTube for how to make a whip finisher tool. Awesome. Go ahead and check that out, Josh. I have not personally been there, but I tell you what, if Steve says check it out, it's worth checking out. Alright, let's go ahead and just take some counter wraps. Yeah, it doesn't really stick out too pronounced. But that gold wire, it does stick out a little bit. Just a little bedazzle in there. Let's go ahead and trim this off. Good and close. Save that for a rainy day. Alright. Let's go ahead and get our grizzly hackle. A little grizzly hen hackle. I just got a little too cocky with my hen hackle. See what I did there? And the piece that I tied on, the barbs are just way too big, so don't be a fool, Aaron, don't be a fool. Let's trim that down. That's nice. Little high and tight, little notch on either side. Yeah, that is going to be just fine. Still a little, yeah. Perfecto. It's hackle time, ladies and gentlemen. It's hackle time. Alright. Let's just go 1, 2, 3's it. 3's it, no more. Stop it. Let's keep it sparse. Let's go ahead and trim that off. Down and back. Down and back. Alright, that'll work. A little bit long for my taste, but I think that'll work. Just a little bit long for my taste, but who's keeping score? I'm not. Alright, let's see, what were we gonna do here? we were going to do a little mix. Let's do our mix of our... Now, do I try to tie this in like a Mickey Finn? I don't know. I think that just might be a little too complicated, but let's try it. I'm just gonna stack them in my hand. Clean these out real quick. Alright, so I think for next week's video, next week's live stream, I will be hitting the books and doing my research, talking to my higher authorities on the dirty hippie fly pattern. Alright, so I got a little bit of the grape, a little bit of this, and then a little bit of that. Alright, so we got a little mixture of the colors. A little of the grape and a little bit of that kind of blue. Yeah. We're good there. Boy, you know what? I think I might just have to send this one to Mom for Mother's Day. Head over to Instagram after this for a really good quality picture. I think this is the golden purple Pass Lake. The Pass Lake purple. Purple Pass Lake. Could have went just a little bit longer on the wing, but that's the way it ended up. Looks a little chubby. I like it. I like it. I like that. I like that two-tone in there. All right. Let's see, where are we at for time? We're at 1940 thereabouts. 1939. I think we got time for one more. One more fly. One more fly. One more fly. And the crowd goes wild. It's too bad fly tying can't be a spectator sport. I would at least be in the amateur league. Coming from St. Cloud at 6'2", the professor. That's pretty cool. So what do you guys think? Next week, Dirty Hippie? Or what should we look into doing? What We got a few minutes left to discuss this out. The thing about the dirty hippie is every time we tie it, I'm over in woolly bugger land. And I miss out. Oh, Andreas, you know, that's pretty awesome. I think I should maybe midweek I will I'll have to do a different time live stream. Let's do that way you can get some actual sleep during the nighttime. I don't know. Alright, we're gonna do one more variation on this. I like that purple though. I like where we're going. I'm just gonna do a slightly different hackle. Dirty hippie. Alright, alright. Dirty hippie it is. If you don't know what a dirty hippie is, you're gonna have to Google it. Out of all my books, I can honestly say I don't know of the dirty hippie in any of my books. But that's not the issue. Let's go ahead and start our thread. See if we can't break the thread on this. Alright, we liked our our ring pheasant, ring neck rump hackle purple. Say that 5 times fast. Peacock herl chenille rope body. You know what? I'm just gonna omit the chenille and we'll just go straight to the we're just gonna go straight to the peacock. Let's see here. This guy's got some. It's got some definite spin to it. So let's go ahead and trim that out, clean that up. That'll be all right. Let's get our hook's length and we'll work our way back. So with the peacock curl body, I think that would be a good opportunity to re-employ the French tinsel. Yeah, nice long tail there. That's a little bit too long, but that gives us a little bit more to do on our wing. So using my that's about a hook's length, and that's about a hook's length. So yeah, I mean, I guess proportionately, we're right where we need to be. Let's find our French tinsel. Where'd you go? Did I put it back? No, I didn't put it back, did I? Small. Where did our French tinsel go? We'll just go with our gold wire then, I guess. Yeah. Oh, there it is. Underneath the bag. Alright. Let's go ahead, run our thread forward. And we're going to tie this end up front. We're going to run that the full length of the body all the way to the rear. And we'll let that hang off to the side. This is going to be fun. Peacock herl. Let's grab our peacock herl. And we're going to do 2 to 3 of those. And I think if I have it, blue, that's pink, that's natural, it's yellow. There it is. Look at that. That's a red. Not quite as green as our regular. There is some variation in there. So we're gonna do I'm gonna do 2 red, 3 green, and 1 ostrich. I'll throw one of these ostriches in there. Black ostrich. Let's see if we can't find with a little bit more length to it. Here we go. Nice long black ostrich. This is almost going to be like making our own chenille. Holy smokes, we are pulling it all out. You guys don't have to clean up after me, I do. Alright, we have a concoction. We have 3 red, 2 natural peacock herl, and I have 2 black emu. So we're going to line up these tips more or less. And just to give ourselves a little bit of extra body, a little extra oomph, we're going to tie this in all the way up front. And we're going to wrap this all the way to the rear. Oh my goodness, oh my goodness. Our thread back forward. All those tips are just fragile enough to break. All right. Oh man. Let's find our hook and hackle grabber. Hook and hackle grabber, where are you? There's one. All right. Let's go ahead and pull these all together. And by brushing them back, it coaxes all those barbules, the micro barbules, to poke out. Alright, let's go ahead and trim that. And we're going to spin it to win it. Nice, light, easy spin. And it's going to want to wrap itself carefully, oh so carefully, around the tip of that hook. Can't stress that enough. Oh boy. Oh, we got one failure. It's alright, we're still going to just keep wrapping because ultimately in the end, that was a regular one, it wasn't a fancy one. We're going to come over that with the, what do you want to call that, the French tinsel. And the more I can just keep wrapping over top of it, that's just locking it in, just every little wrap. In fact, let's go ahead and give that a little bit of a trim. That way we don't have to fight it later. Oh yeah. That is interesting. I'll tell you that for free. Keep it roped up. Got one more trying to... It wants to bail. We're not going to let it. And there's our body. Wow. That is fantastic. Alright, we'll do our ribbing. And we'll do one turn underneath. Alright, nice and even, nice and even. That French tinsel is looking just fantastic. I want to space those out just a little bit more though. We went through all that work on that body. Might as well let it show, right? Yeah, I like that. A little bit more of an open spiral. Whoop, 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 whoop. There we go. Don't use your good scissors for that. Use some older scissors. It's better to save your scissors a little bit in this case. All right. Now for our hackle. So I have kind of the purple, but I like a little bit of color contrast. So I'm gonna go with this one. If I have a short enough feather, these tips are all broken. A lot of my little hen hackle packs, or happles, packs, all came from just kind of a variety pack. It was a whiting sample variety pack of all these fun color dyed hen hackles. I think this is gonna be it. Yeah, we're gonna have to keep it short, so let's go ahead and tie it in by the, we'll tie this in by the tip. That way we get to those little shorter barbs. There we go. I don't know why, but I just got a hankering for a rhubarb bar. Alright. Perfecto. Alright, let's go ahead and take our just a couple of wraps. That's one. That's two. I think I'm just going to do 1, 2. Alright, Josh. Thanks for tuning in. Good luck with chemistry. Tonight, the plum wine from the fruit. Oh, nice. Excellente. Cheers, buddy. Be good, be safe, and we'll talk to you next time. Next week, let's plan on that dirty hippie. You sure you betcha. Alright, we'll go ahead and finish this one off. Couple of turns here, down and towards the rear. I think I like that. Alright, and we're going to do our blend of our calf tail again, because I didn't ding my bell. Oy, I don't remember if I did or not. as you can tell, it's becoming a long day. Oh, it's tough tying flies for 2 hours straight and keeping up a monologue. Fortunately for you guys, there's just a little bit of background music going on, I guess. How is that background music? Can you even hear it? Alright, we'll take our little grapey grape. We're going to just clean that out. Setting this on the bench. And I'm going to get some of the bubble blue. Kind of a purplish bluish, more of an electric purple. Violet. The electric violet. The electric. Isn't that the name of the Muppets band, Electric Mayhem? What was the name of the yeah, I think that's what it was. The name of the Muppets band, Electric Mayhem? I think that's what it was. Alright, I got this little big old clump. We're going to start thinning this out just a little bit at a time. And I have it stacked a little bit like a Mickey fin, a little bit of an alternating color scheme. You know, it's not super pronounced, and I'm sure a lot of it gets lost here, but it's there. Alright, let's go ahead and trim it to win it. Waxed our thread. One soft grab to capture it. And I think, you know, the thing with the calf tail is you just can't reef down on it all at once. It's you gotta play the long game when it comes to tying with calf tail. And you know what? I got some of the fibers into the eye up front, but you know what? I'm tired and I'm just gonna send it. I like it though. I really do. Let's go ahead and do our whip finish. And we'll add a little dab of head cement. Little dab will do ya. Little dab will glue ya. I'm using bone dry. If you don't have bone dry, use the secret sauce. That's right, the Sally Hansen's. But either way, less is more or less. I might take my little cauterizer and tag around by that eye, but for now I'm not going to lose any sleep. There we go. Not the prettiest ahead. Dr. Teeth and Electric Mayhem. Yes, that's awesome. That's awesome. Alright, we'll set it and forget it. A couple of fibers sticking forward there, but it's not going to interfere with the getting the tippet in there, I don't think. But let's go ahead and hit it real quick. This is... It's almost like an eraser. It's almost like an eraser for fly tyers. If you get something way up front, we'll get in there. And this is always good to do after you do your Zap-A-Gap or whatever you're gonna do up front. So that's it. We're gonna wrap that up. Be sure to join me next week. Tell your friends, tell your family, tell your neighbors, tell your cats. Hit that subscribe button. We're getting up there as far as numbers. You know, like everybody else, that magical number is that 1,000. I'd love to hit that 1,000 subscribers. That takes me up the next level on the world of YouTube. It means everything and it means nothing all at the same time. So, yeah, hit that subscribe button. Go ahead and, yeah, just be good, everybody. Join me next week. We're going to be tying the dirty hippie. I'm going to have to do some R&D and, yeah. Thank you, everybody. Happy tying and, yeah, tight lines. Peace.